Hey, fight fans, welcome back to Carlo Prusa MMA. I'm Carlo Prusa, and today I'm with Mr. All In. He is Brendan Allen, UFC middleweight, ahead of his upcoming contest, taking on Anthony Hernandez once again, this time big UFC fight night card. Brendan, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. You know, you've been on such a roll here in the past couple years. A lot of people really being to know who you are. You're really becoming a household name in the UFC as well as a household name in the division. Are you excited to be able to, run it back against a guy like Anthony, who's also, been picking up a lot of steam?
Yeah, man. I like continuing my redemption tour and trying to get those losses back, especially ones like that are so long ago. And I just kind of quit on myself in the first fight. So um, always, it's always tough to take a loss, especially when you lose to yourself. And I always say over and over again, it sounds like a broken record, but I just feel like I lost to myself, and those are the hardest ones to deal with.
Did you have a feeling that you two would match up again at some point?
Yeah, man. I've been trying to fight everyone. Go, just put it back. Yeah, I've been trying to fight anyone and everyone who will fight me for since the last one. So, um, yeah, it's good. I'm just we got a little over 4 weeks, and I'm just ready to finish the hard training. I'm home this week, kind of hanging out with my kids, just recouping the body to finish the last three strong. So, but I'm ready to just get to the last three, make the weight, and see what's gonna happen on fight night.
You've been doing this for a very long time now, been involved in mixed martial arts for like over a decade at this point. One guy I was talking to recently, Mr. Kurt Hollabaugh, telling me that you were training him when you're like 13 years old. He said you were putting it on him. What was it like to, pick up mixed martial arts in Louisiana and train with guys like that?
Um, It's good, man. I was always the youngest one in the group, and they're all grown men. When I was training, I was probably 13 years old, 14, 15, and they're all grown men. So many butt whoopings occurred, and it's all good now because I'm not little no more. So I try to see all of them guys again and just let them know I'm not little anymore. So, but no, it's good, man. Louisiana's different. Um, That's it, man. We're just different here, and the old school is a whole different style than it is now. Obviously, just martial arts in general has changed over the time and over the years, but I'm still from the old school kind of ways, even though I'm one of the younger guys.
What is it about that area in fighting? Obviously, you have Louisiana, you have a bunch of guys from Mississippi, Alabama, Pensacola. That area breeds fighters and loves fighting. What is it?
I mean, the old school ways was the tough ways. Either you make it or you don't. Now it's kind of sissified, to be honest. Nobody really wants to get hit or they want the easy route, but I think that's just society in general. Like no one's really wants to work for anything, and no one's willing to take a butt whooping to get better. And they want to be eased in, they want to be coddled, and um, it wasn't like that when I started, especially like around here. Like it was, it doesn't matter how old you are, how big you are, you're gonna take your ass whooping just like everyone else. And if you stay, you stay. If you don't, you don't. It's up to you. So just times are different now, so it's hard to even say now. But coming up in the time frame when I came up, it's just like you're gonna be here and you're gonna take some butt whippings, or you're gonna be a sissy and you're not gonna be here. Like it's all up to you.
It's kind of crazy to think 15, 20 years ago, people were calling MMA human cockfighting. It wasn't legal at every single state. Now, obviously, it's one of the most mainstream sports there is. But when you first started in 2013, 2014, do you have any stories of maybe mystery opponents fighting outside bars? Do you have anything?
Not for me. I was too young. I think the first fight I ever went to was at like a broken down. Um, what was it? Like a broken down like skating venue, like roller skates. It was terrible. It was so hot. And matter of fact, Kurt was I think the main event of that fight because we only had amateurs really around that time, and he was an amateur. And then his he grew. The sport was kind of growing at the same time in the area, and he kind of helped around the area grow. Um, and then went to Biloxi, and then obviously you had Dustin fighting in Lafayette and all over and doing his thing. So, um, and then obviously before then you had Rich Clemeni, Tim Crater, you had Alan Belcher, you had all those guys coming up and doing their thing. So the growth and evolution has been super cool to watch and be like a part of, as far as like seeing Rich, Allen, Tim, and all those guys as I was coming up and getting the influence from them, and then knowing Dustin, training with Dustin and Kurt and all the guys like that. I mean, it's been a crazy ride. I mean, I always think of as I'm growing, like I want to one up them just because I'm so competitive. Um, but man, it's tough to one up Dustin right now. Like that guy's earned everything he's got, and couldn't be more happy for him and his family and where he comes from. And but I'm still trying to one up him with my accolades as well. And right now he's kind of the king of Louisiana with his resume and what he's done and what he's achieved. And I'm trying to one up him, but he presents a tough task. He really does.
One thing that's interesting, I think, about your record is a very long amateur record. It looks like 9 fights, went undefeated as an amateur. Part of the decision to, kind of take your time there, was that just to get as well rounded as possible?
Not really. I had 13 total amateurs and undefeated, and it was just like I think after I won Worlds, it just felt like there was nothing left for me, and I was ready to start making money. But I fought a lot. I was fighting like 5 or 6 times a year. Still in school, high school, college, working. Like it was a lot. I think maybe I should have stayed amateur a little bit longer, to be honest, to solve some more holes in mentality or whatever the case may be. But it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. I've got a lot of fights. Hopefully, I still have like 6 more years left in me, 5, 6 more years left, and we'll see what happens and where the journey takes me.
So many people are watching this in this day and age. And, I think they look at the big names of the sports, obviously yourself, the John Joneses, the Habibs, and they're probably like, wow, what a life. It must be amazing to be a professional fighter. Little do they know, to make it at the UFC, fighting on the regional scene, most of the time you're losing money, a lot of sacrifices. Guys have the 9 to 5 jobs, kids, wives. Even when you first make it to the big shows, you're not making millions of dollars. You've been doing this for a very, very long time. What's made you get up every single day and keep pushing and keep kicking forward?
Man, again, times change so much. Like you have guys from other countries that their countries actually back them and like support them and pay money to them and like basically sponsor them. And they have a following that's insane. Russian fighters, Irish fighters, like all these guys have like a whole country that supports them. So it's hard for Americans to really have that because we don't have that. We have so many sports and so many good athletes, and um, the and plus Americans like always just want to talk shit and degrade someone rather than lift them up and support them and try to help them go to the next level. It's really crazy, to be honest, if you really think deeply about it. But it is what it is. But I think for me, it's just been, hey, I'm talking. Hey, go do your stuff. Sorry. Go. So, but yeah, it's just different. Nowadays, it takes a lot. The evolution's crazy. These guys are training hard. They're training every day with some of the best guys, and it's hard to be on the same level as some of these guys if you don't have those same opportunities as everyone else. It takes a true like special athlete to go out there and still even just compete with these guys, let alone beat them. When these guys are training all day, and these athletes aren't. They're just still having to work. They're having to have a family, school, whatever the case may be. Um, it's tough, man. It's tough. Like I said, the evolution is insane. I used to be the young guy in the gym, and now I see these young kids that are 20, 21, 22, 23, and you're like, man, where the hell did they come from? And then you hear their stories of coming from other countries and leaving their families just to come here, and it's crazy. Like when you actually get out there in the world and get to see some stuff, you're just like you're very amazed, and it makes you want to work harder. It makes you more appreciative for what you have, and um, I've definitely been around the block a time or two already, and I'm just on my own journey. Like I don't try to compare myself to anyone else. As long as everyone just leaves me alone and doesn't try to compare to me, I'm good. I just like to be left alone. I'm just content. I live a good life. I have a beautiful family. So it took a long time to learn. Like even if I lose, everything's still okay. Like it's okay. Like I have what, I don't know, 6 losses total in 40 something fights. Like I've given out more ass whoopings than I've gotten, so it's all right.
Following your time in LFA, you've really made your way into the UFC, obviously, by going to the Dana White Contender Series. Took on Aaron Jeffrey, a guy who done some big things up in Bellator, and I think one of your training partners now, too, down in South Florida. Where were you when you got the phone call that you're going to be fighting on the Contender?
I mean, I think they told me right after I beat Moses Morietta when I defended that title for the first time. When I defended that, they told me that I was going to be on Contender, and then it took a few weeks, and then they told me Aaron, and I didn't know who he was at the time, and um, we fought, and it went my way, and uh, the story continues. But yeah, now we're training partners in Florida, and I actually get to see him, I think, next week. So it'll be a great addition to the camp for me, and I like Aaron a lot. He's a good person, good human. So he's a good training partner as well. So it'll be great to see him next week. It'll be great to take those ass whoopings and the little cardio monster that he is, and um, we'll finish off the next 3 weeks, and we'll go put on a show in end of February.
You've really proven throughout your career you're such a well-rounded mixed martial artist. You've proven you to pick up submissions, nasty finishes on with the hands. For you, do you take a lot of pride in going out there, finishing fights in that style and picking up bonuses?
I just want to finish. Like, I don't feel um, any pleasure if I don't finish. I sometimes I get more mad unless I dominate for just 3 rounds or whatever. Um, but it's I don't know. Again, I've been around the block a time or two, so no matter what, no matter how, you're always gonna hear some shit talking from someone who wishes they could do this, or someone who just doesn't want to see anyone do good. So it's it's a tough business. It definitely changes you. It definitely changes you for sure. But um, it's it is what it is. I'm just ready to go. At this point, we got 3 weeks left. I'm just ready to go fight because you're only as good as your last fight. My last fight was dog shit, so I'm just ready to go fight and be the best me I can be because I wasn't the best me last time out.
Obviously referring to the fight over in France against Imavov. Start off that first round, very, very good. Definitely doing a great job there. Fight didn't go your way, but what were some of the learning? What are some of the takeaways we got from it?
Oh man, we for me it was just my body wasn't good. I kind of knew it going in, but I still thought I was good enough to win. I still think I'm the best in the world, and if you're the best in the world and you truly are the best in the world, then you should be able to beat anyone on the planet. And I felt that way before. I feel that way now, and it sucks losing to yourself. I think I went all the way to his home country and his hometown, and it was still a close fight, even though I wasn't at my best. I think that was probably one of the best versions of Imavov we've seen, and I think that was one of the worst versions of me we've seen. And still, it was a close fight. I think I lost the fight on perception of my stupidity of keep shooting when I should have just kept it on the feet and just stayed throwing. Um, yeah, it's a double edged sword. If I take him down again after the first round, I finish him. Um, if but that's the question. If the if didn't go my way, I didn't get him down. The shots were sloppy. The shots were shit. They didn't set him up. He had a good takedown defense. He did a good job with that. Um, and I did a poor job with that. I made bad reads. Me and my corner have discussed like we understand the perspective of if I would have taken him down, I win the fight. But I didn't, and sometimes you just gotta let that go. And I should have made that read for myself, and my corner should have made that read too. And we've looked at that. And normally I go into fights just wanting to see what happens. I went into the fight going to see what's happened like normal, and then when I took him down in the first, and I felt him struggling so much and kind of spazzing a little bit underneath me, and I was just chilling. I just thought it was so easy. Like I didn't understand. Like maybe it's an immaturity in my own head or a spot that I ain't been, which is a good learning spot. But yeah, it is what it is. I lost. Close fight in his hometown, in his home city. We're the two youngest guys in the division, so we probably got to see each other again. I hope so. I just don't. You do it in my home city, and it don't go that way at all. Like it's not even a close fight. Like you have all the energy, all your friends, all your family. I haven't fought at home in I don't even know 7 years, 8 years. I haven't fought at home, so um, I'd like to run that one back at home just to give it a piece. But my commission won't fuck him over like his did to me. So, um, but it is what it is. Like I said, it's a learning lesson. It sucks. It eats at me. Another one of the fights that just fucking just eat at me, and hopefully it'll be on the redemption tour at some point.
Let's talk about that a little bit. A couple guys now coming out from that card saying, the French Commission might have done a little bit of shady things. Do you think that was evident?
Yeah, for sure. I had to stay down 4 hours while he was up in his room for 4 hours, getting to sleep, rehydrate properly. Um, yeah, I think the commission was shit. I think maybe I didn't prepare fully for like the rehydration and refuel because I didn't know that there was a sugar tax or some shit there where they don't even have like a lot of real sugar. So their foods were a lot different than what we're used to and stuff like that, which is that's my fault. So I didn't look into that deep enough. That wasn't something that I had to encounter before. So it's just a learning lesson. It is what it is. I took a lot from it. I learned a lot. Um, I still think I'm I'm better. However that makes me sound, I don't care. Like maybe I'm fucking delusional. I don't know, but I still think I'm the best in the world. Um, yeah, we'll see.
Obviously, Imavov, he's now fighting Israel Adesanya here in a couple of weeks. With that being said, with him getting that type of matchup, knowing that you were so close, you were right in there in that fight, does that give you the reassurance or maybe the self belief that guys like that are soon to be in your cards?
Yeah, I always feel the same way. If I can show up and be the best me, then I'll beat everyone or at least make it super close. I showed up on that fight to what number four in the world at the time. I don't know what he is right now with all the changes and stuff. And I wasn't the best me, and it was still a really close fight. I think I won the first, he won the second. The third, I did more damage, but the perception of me shooting the shots and staying down and him staying on top, you know, I'm not mad at the decision. It is what it is. When I watch the fight, I'm not mad at it. It's my fault. I should have stayed up. I should have stayed throwing. I should have stayed in his face. I should have stayed landing the shots that I was doing anyway and walking him down because I was winning that exchange. But I wasn't winning the takedown, obviously, and staying on my back, being tired, and letting him just stay there and try to punch, even though in the third he really didn't, was just a stupid decision on my part. And I think from a judge perspective and a fan's perspective, it gave the fight away. But I think I did more damage still. So, but it is like I said, it is what it is. I know I'm the best. I train with some of the best. I've trained with the best probably before in different divisions, and um, I think I'm one of the best in the world. I just got to show up and prove it. And when I do, if the fights look easy, I mean, so that's the thing. I just got to make sure to do my best. I was on a great roll of making sure my body was in line, making sure everything was perfect. Even when the weight cuts were hard, I still showed up. Um, the last one I didn't. And like I said, you're only as good as your last fight. So I'm dog shit right now.
Regardless of last performance or not, you have proven that you're one of the best fighters on the planet. I mean, your resume in the last 4 or 5 fights has been absolutely crazy. Taking out Paul Craig, a guy at the time, a lot of guys, ooh, this guy on the ground, one of the best ever, his technique, were able to put on a submission on him. From that point on, I really felt like your name started really going out there as a name to be reckoned with in that division. Walk me through that finish.
I mean, I've been doing jiu-jitsu a long time. So if he's going to armbar or triangle me, that I need to reevaluate some things. If someone armbars or triangles me just flat, like I'm not hurt or nothing, I've got some serious soul searching to do and see if this is still for me. Um, so I knew going in, like you're not gonna armbar or triangle me. That's your two best things. So I'm just gonna beat you up. I'm gonna beat you up, and that's really what I did. I just kept beating him up, elbowing him, punching him, elbow punching him, blocking all his transitions, all his sweeps, winning the scrambles. Um, even with a torn ACL, like I was winning. So um, that was it. I think he just broke. Like he knew he couldn't beat me anywhere, and he just broke. I think that happens more times than not, and it's just part of the game.
Following that victory, took on Chris Curtis once again, was able to get one back from him, pick up a big win against him. Was that really satisfying?
Yeah, it always sucks though with Chris because Chris is kind of like that guy that kind of gives me a hard time with his stature. But we never really have time to like prepare for one another. Like it's always short notice. I mean, granted, I had a little bit more time than the first time, um, but yeah, I think I just mixed it up better than he did, and I think I beat him clearly, even though people can say what they want. I think by MMA rules, I think I clearly beat him. The second time out, I think it was very well done. Obviously, we fought for 25 minutes, and he hit me some good ones. I hit him some good ones, and um, we both had injuries coming out. So I mean, it's a fight. He's one of the best guys in the world. He can beat anyone at any given time in the world. So um, yeah, it's a great name on the resume. It's great to get it back. So I don't complain.
So we're taking on Alexander Fluffy Hernandez here, coming up on a big fight night card headlined by Henry Cejudo and Song Yadong. Overall, what do you think of Fluffy as an opponent?
I know Fluffy. I know Fluffy. He hasn't changed. He's the same guy. Maybe he just changed it together and puts it together better, but he's still the same guy. Um, I just don't think he's fought anyone. Obviously, he's fought me a long time ago on a young, immature, mentally weak me that didn't want to be there. Um, but he hasn't fought this version of me. This version of me is a whole different animal, and I know he's gonna come to hug my leg and try to take me down and put a pace on me. But I'm ready. I'm gonna be ready. I'm coming out there to knock him out, and that's it. I'm coming out there to beat him up. He's coming to hurt me, but I'm coming to hurt him. So I like the guy a lot outside, but business is business, and I gotta go get this one back in an impressive fashion and show that there's levels to this, and he just doesn't belong, and I belong to be where I was at before, where I just fucked up. So I'm really coming to put a statement on, and I'm trying to show something different. I'm gonna let my performance do that. All the talking that needs to be done.
Do you find joy in knowing that you're kind of the guy on these fight nights who are going to either main event it or be a co-main?
Yeah, it's cool, but I know how it is. Like at least I feel like it's like you're the best in the world when you're winning. As soon as you lose, no one gives a fuck and always wants to talk shit. So it's like I'm that guy, and it's like for some reason I'm the guy when I say something that wants to be twisted, like I'm an arrogant prick or something. But I don't even care at this point. Like I tried to make like people to like me or whatever, and now I'm just like I don't care. I'm gonna be myself. Um, I'm gonna be myself. You like me, great. I appreciate it. If you don't, fuck off. I don't really care. Like my family still loves me, and I love my family, and I still make good money, and I still get to do things that many people can't do. So um, I'm very blessed. I'm very happy. I'm very thankful, and I just try to focus more on those attributes than any shit talking or anything else. I'm just thankful to be in the positions. Thankful for all the opportunities I've been given, and I hope the ride's not over because the ride can be done at any time. Anyone can fall off at any time. I'm working my ass off to make sure I don't fall off, but I know if I go out there and I'm the best me, my body's good. I'm gonna walk through him and anyone else, and that's all I'm focused on.
One thing we're really seeing in this day and age of combat sports is how entertainment driven this really is. I mean, you're seeing guys now putting on characters. They're being people they're not because they know it's going to get them title shots. They're going to get money out of it. How do you think this whole entertainment factor has affected mixed martial arts?
Oh man, I just don't think it's about who the real best fighter is in the world anymore. It used to be who's the best, and that's what I love the old school way. Um, Now it's just kind of who's a good fighter, but who can talk the best and who can put asses in the seats. And I'm a good talker to my friends and joking around, but man, I just can't do it for real because like every time I say something, someone gets upset, or next thing you know, somebody want to have a problem with me when I see them, and I don't want to have a problem with someone everywhere I go. Like I don't want to be. I go out with my family most of the time. I bring my wife and now my son to the events and my daughters to the events, and it's like I I don't want anyone to fuck with me while I'm with my family because then I'm a different person and it's a person that I don't want to be. So I just try to just stay in my own lane, mind my business, and just let everyone talk how they want. If you ask me a question or anyone asks me a question, I'm going to answer it to the best of my abilities, as honest as I can be. I'm gonna try to be respectful, but if it comes out disrespectful, then I guess you shouldn't ask the question. But that's kind of the zone I'm in nowadays.
In this day and age, we have a term now we use called the casual fan. These are the people who are usually drunk. They're at B-dubs on the cheap seats of the fights, twist them in the you're humping each other, saying all these crazy things, probably sliding into your DMs daily. Well, how do you handle these people? At the end of the day, is it just something we need to look back and be like, all right, this might be annoying, but it's good for the sport?
Say the first part again. I didn't hear the first part.
The casual fans. We have now
Oh,
what's called the casual
yeah.
fans.
Yeah, what they gonna do? Comment on my stuff? That block button's the best thing in the world. Like you ain't gonna get a reaction on me, even when I want to give it to you. Like block. You're not gonna say it to my face. And still, people have the right to their opinion, but they're just trying to get a rise out of you. You can't message me. That's nobody can message me unless I message you first. So yeah, social media is nice. You put those limits. So yeah, I don't really get that too much. Like I said, I get the comments every now and then, but I just try to give the. So I hate social media. I just try to give it to my wife. I just do it because sponsors and people that care about like it. So, but if I could delete it all today and not have to worry about it, I'd love it.
Now, going into 2025 here, brand new into the year, do you really feel like this could be the breakout year for you and your year to really, go after that title shot?
Well, I don't really put a whole lot on that. We'll see. We'll see February. We're gonna try to put on a great performance and then just try to mimic the preparation and everything else every time after that. The goal this year is definitely to be more active, like I used to be, and fight 3 times this year. As long as my body can handle that, then we'll be good to go. That's the whole goal for me. Just go out there, beat people up, and get paid.
All right, Brandon, last question for you, my friend. In a perfect world, what's the outcome when you take on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez once again in February?
I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna knock him out. First and second round, I'm knocking him out, and I'm going back home to my family and spend time with them for a month, and then get right back to work and hopefully fight someone um, July around July.
Awesome. Well, Brendan, actually, I lied. One last one that I want to bring up. Whenever we see you win, whenever you walk out to the cage, you have that hat. What's the origin of the hat?
Shavkat Rachmanov gave it to me. I was joking with him one time at dinner, and he actually brought for me, and I thought it was super cool that he remembered to bring for me, and so yeah, I appreciate it. And it's warm too, so I wear it.
That's awesome. Well, Brendan, thank you so much for your time, my friend. Really look forward to seeing you get back in there in February and just go on and continue going on this run, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely. That's it for us tonight. I'm Carl Prusa. That's Mr. Allen Brendan Allen.